So here in Kansas City, Joe Montana makes his return to the starting lineup, making it back from the pulled hamstring as the 7-3 Chiefs leading the AFC West go against the 8-2 Buffalo Bills, a half game behind Miami in the AFC East. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert, and we are delighted to welcome Mike Ditka to the role of color commentator, making the transition from the studio. And Mike, looking down the road, this is certainly a game that could determine home field advantage in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think it's very meaningful in that sense, but I think you got to worry about the playoffs first. I think both of these coaches have stressed, let's get to the playoffs. We'll let home field take care of itself a little bit later.
Well, as Marv Levy of Buffalo said, our first concern is making the playoffs. Buffalo has won the toss. They will receive. They have the rookie from Memphis State, Russell Copeland, and the veteran Don Beebe back deep. Nick Lowry will kick it off. Kansas City Chiefs last Sunday lost to the Bears 19-17 to snap their home win streak at 8. The Chiefs held to 3 points in the second half as they blew a 14-0 lead. And a deep kick by Lowry. Russell Copeland will stay right there. The Buffalo Bills will start from their 20-yard line. An offensive line that is held together, although 4 of the 5 starters have been hobbled at one time or another. Fina, Richter, Hull, Davis, and House Ballard. Jim Kelly, the quarterback. Thurman Thomas, the lone deep back. Andre Reed, Bill Brooks, Don Beebe, the receivers. Pete Metzelaar is the tight end when they go to what they call the pair. Nate Turner comes in at fullback, and Keith McKellar doubles up. The crowd getting right to it. Thurman Thomas, off the swing pass, pulls his way to the 25. The strong safety, Martin Bayless, one-time Buffalo Bill, along with the left corner, Albert Lewis, combining to make the stop. Up front for Kansas City, Neil Smith, Joe Phillips, Dan Saleamua, and Derek Thomas, more of a rush backer. You saw the linebackers. There's the secondary, and they have gone through wholesale changes. Kevin Ross now operating as the free safety, and Terry and Mincy come on in the dime. Thomas gets the call, and it's a short pickup. Phillips and Saleamua combine to make the stop.
Marv, the first play, they just went with the old option screen. They got Thomas out of the backfield, just try to get it to him. Same effect as a running play, really. Try to get their 4 or 5 yards, put him in a good second down situation.
We were talking with Dave Adolph, the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs, and he said the idea for Kansas City is to force Thomas to run sideways.
You must make him bounce. Now, right here, he got it straight up the field. And you must make the man bounce left or right, and then you hope people can come up and get to him. Because if you let him hit the gaps that quick, he's going to make some yardage on it.
Lonnie March made the stop, but Thomas has moved the chains. It is a first down for Buffalo.
And you can see what they did is they just went to type of a draw blocking. They enticed the lineman to come forward, turned him, and he just picked the gap.
It is a first down at the 34. Kelly got a long look. Thomas took the hit from Lonnie March. It is a short pickup. Lonnie March was right there.
The one thing they're doing, Marv, they're getting everybody out. They're getting every receiver out. They're keeping no backs in, nobody in to protect him. But that was a pretty good whack that Thomas took on that play right there.
Yes, Thurman Thomas is shaken up. Thurman Thomas has been one of the more durable backs over the years. In his 6th season out of Oklahoma State. We'll get another look at that hit by number 51.
They've got everybody out again. Everybody is out on the play. All they're doing is trying to protect with a 5 lineman. It's an underneath play, and he gets caught in a bad position. Jim got the ball a little high to him. He's kind of, he's in a vulnerable position there, and he gets whacked in the ribs, it looks like.
Thurman Thomas, Mike, involved in the first 4 plays, 2 receptions, and 2 rushes.
Marv, he's 38% of their total offense is Thurman Thomas. They have to get him involved. Let's hope that this isn't very serious, but it looks to me like he got it in the back or the ribs. I don't see any problem with his legs or anything. I'm sure the wind's not got him. He should be okay.
Lonnie March with the big hit. Lonnie March, in his 4th year out of Tulane, has taken over as a starter, making the successful transition from safety to linebacker while at Tulane. It's been a rough sequence for star running backs last couple of weeks. Emmitt Smith, Barry Foster, Barry Sanders all suffering injuries. 2nd down and 7 as we resume. Kelly could not find anyone.
And And this is what they have to do. They've got to pressure. They've got to keep somebody in front of Kelly. They've got to be in front. Not so much from the side and back, but up from the front. And that'll stop him from stepping up and finding the receiver.
And apparently Thurman Thomas is all right as he makes his return. It'll be a 3rd down and 7 from the 37. 2 minutes gone by in this first quarter with no score. Both Reed and Beebe are flanked to the left side. Brooks to the near side. That's Reed in motion. Again, Kelly can't find his receivers and throws it out of bounds.
Oh, that's just good defensive play. The defense played it outstandingly. They matched up a linebacker man-to-man with Metzelaars. They're going to take their chances and cover the tight end with a linebacker. That's going to free them up to put more people in the secondary to cover those outside receivers, and did a heck of a job of it right there.
So Chris Moore will come on, the punting unit checking in for Buffalo, and the always dangerous Dale Carter is back at his 21. Dale Carter, Kansas City's first-round draft pick last year out of Tennessee. And it is a short punt and a very favorable bounce.
Now, Marv, that's a play that's got to be fair caught regardless. He had plenty of time to fair catch it. It wasn't a good punt, but he had time to come up and catch the ball.
And that will go down as a 56-yard punt for Chris Moore. Montana making his first appearance since October the 31st in the starting lineup, coming back from the second pulled hamstring injury of the season. Up front he has Alt, Zott, Grunhard, Shields, and Sigler. A very physical offensive line. Montana at quarterback, Marcus Allen now in the starting lineup, along with Kimball Anders at the running back positions. Burton, Davis, and Hayes are the receivers. And when they go to what Marty Schottenheimer refers to as the new personnel, Keith Cash comes on as the second tight end. Kansas City from its 7 to the offense for the first time. And Montana throws sideline. J.J. Burton.
I mean, we couldn't have better timing. I don't know. That ball was thrown the only place it can be thrown to be caught.
James Williams on the coverage as you look at the Buffalo front 7. Hanson, Wright, and Smith up front. Bennett, Patton, Gilganius in the lineup for the injured Mark Maddox. And in the secondary, Williams, Odoms, Jones, and Kelso. When they go to the dime, the 2 backs that check in, Scholes and Darby. Pickup of 8, a 2nd and 2 from the 15. And a handoff for Allen. And he is short of the first down. Phil Hansen, the left defensive end, making the stop. So Kansas City forced to go a long way off that favorable roll from Chris Moore's punt. Dale Carter let it go. It went for 56, so Kansas City starting guy at their 7-yard line.
And people don't realize how hard that is on an offense, too, to start back up all the time. I mean, that's why they came out with a pass on the first down mark. But there's a statistic that shows if you make the other team go 80 yards or more 7 times in a game, at least 7 times, you win like 95% of those games. It's just an interesting fact. It doesn't mean you always will, but the longer you make the other team go, something bad's going to happen.
And the Chiefs did pick up the first down. They just did pick it up. It's a first down at the 17-yard line. Kansas City going with the double tight ends, Jonathan Hayes and Keith Cash. Cash in motion. Montana completes to Hayes. Jonathan Hayes hauled down by Marcus Patton, but he goes for 27.
Joe Montana loves the tight end. He loves the tight end in the backs. He's going to make you play the underneath man, or he's going to kill you. And right here, they got completely mixed up on the movement. Hayes was wide open. Montana hits him. Big game. They're out of a bad field position right now, and they're in good field position.
Mike, as you are well aware, in San Francisco, Montana just loved throwing to his tight end.
Well, he had a good one out there, and he threw to him as much as anybody, and except Jerry Rice, and it was really effective for him because it really opens up your offense. It lets you do so many things when you have the dimension of a tight end who can catch the football.
And a timeout is called by the Chiefs. Early timeout taken by Kansas City. 11:20 remaining. First quarter, no score at Arrowhead. Just a moment ago, Joe Montana calling this early timeout. What is he trying to tell the sideline?
I think they had the wrong personnel on the field for the play that was called, and he had to get the right personnel, so he went ahead and take a timeout instead of losing a play here.
Well, Kansas City moving up the field here in the early going. A first down from the 44. And Montana throws. Pass intended for Willie Davis, covered by the strong safety Henry Jones. Joe Montana bothered by his second pulled hamstring injury of the season. You often hear discussion about hamstring injuries. People not familiar with the hamstring. Well, the hamstring, Dr. Ditka, is made up of three muscles in the back of the upper leg, and that is the main muscle, the biceps femoris.
Very well done. I couldn't have done it better myself.
But it's a deceptive injury because a lot of times people think they are okay and try to come back too soon. Marcus Allen with a change of direction and is hit for a loss on the play.
You know, that kind of looks like a give-up play right there, Marv. But you have to run the football in some of the unpredictable situations like 2nd and 10. You've got to keep the other team off balance, or else you're going to get in worse trouble. Now, they gained nothing on the play, but yet there was effect of running that play, believe me.
Joe Montana was telling us yesterday that he did try to come back too soon on 2 occasions with that pulled hamstring because you get a false sense of security that you're okay, but you're really not.
And when you're 38 years old, it doesn't heal as quick. It's just a fact of life.
I find the same thing at 38. Just can't do it as quickly. It's a 3rd down and 10. And it's dropped incomplete. Tim Barnett tried to make the turn and could not hold.
Ball thrown a little bit behind. He started to get a little pressure there. That's the first time he has really had pressure on him. Bruce Smith came around the outside and did put some pressure on him, so he had to get rid of it. But that ball should have been caught. But you know, a guy's trying to make a play out there. It's easy to say it should have been caught. He's trying to do his best. I don't think he would have made the 1st down anyways.
So benevolent here up in the booth.
It's a lot easier up here than down there. I'm sure he feels a little different about it than I do.
What a nice guy.
Here has been a nice guy.
Brian Barker.
Oh, what a kick. Actually, a great kick, but a little bit too far, so they'll take it on the 20.
And this goes down as a 56-yard punt as Copeland let it go. We'll be back in Kansas City after these words. Natural gas quarterback efficiency ratings. John Elway of Denver leading the way, followed by the Jets' Boomer Esiason. Jim Kelly right in there, number 4. Joe Montana does not have enough pass attempts to qualify. David Craig in the number 10 slot. And the Bills hearing it again from this very high decibel level crowd. Thomas tried the left side and is stopped for a short pickup. Joe Phillips, the left defensive tackle.
And, you know, the Chiefs are so happy with what Phillips is giving him inside. He's giving him some great, him and Sally Noah are giving him some great inside play by the tackles.
Joe Phillips spent a year with Minnesota, 5 with San Diego. This is 2nd season with Kansas City, 2nd and 8. And Kelly completes for the 1st down, connecting with Don Beebe.
This is a great read by Kelly because really he picks the it's really a zone coverage, but he picks the man that's playing loosest in the zone and he takes advantage of it. Beebe just runs a turn in on him.
Bills operating out of the no huddle with a 1st down from their 31. Back to the ground, and Thomas is stopped.
Well, they're clogging up the lanes pretty good right now, Marv. If they can keep doing that, they're going to limit his effectiveness. But you know, it only takes one play for him to make it happen.
This is a Buffalo franchise that has dramatically changed its style. The 3 previous seasons, they relied heavily on their explosive offense. Now they become a defensive force, more of a ball control team. That is off the hand of Reed, incomplete. And even their short passing patterns give the effect of a ball control offense.
Yeah, I think the graph that we were talking to Marty about is they're not scoring as many points this year as they did last year. They're playing much better defense. The defensive turnovers have kept them in. Their yards are down. Everything's down. But they're winning games because the defense is getting turnovers and taking the ball away from the other team.
That is a significant difference from a year ago. Third down play. Kelly going longer range for the first down. Bill Brooks on the catch. That's good for 16. The right corner, Dale Carter, made the stop. Bill Brooks, in his 8th year out of Boston University, an ideal possession receiver, signed on Plan B from the Indianapolis Colts.
Well, they had man under coverage here. This shouldn't have happened, really. He should have had more help from the deep man. Carter played it exactly the way you're supposed to play it. He had no help from the back man, and that shouldn't happen. Here's the option screen again and get 2 linemen out in front of him. Same effect as a running play.
And Thomas stopped by Sully Amua. So Thurman Thomas on the reception.
You see what they're doing? They're flaring him out a little bit early. They got 2 linemen come out in front of him. Here's Richter out there. Hall's coming out. And it's a 5-yard, 6-yard gain. And that's exactly what they want to do, is keep the pressure on the defense.
Marv Albert with Mike Ditka. Mike making the move from the studio, making his color commentating debut here in Kansas City. It's a 2nd down and 4.
Now what they did, they went to a blitz look here. They went to a total blitz look, and I think Kelly's audible and trying to get out of it.
Goes sideline and has another first down. Once again, combining with Brooks. Ross up from free safety to make the tackle.
What you can see, they changed the defense. They put 5 men up here, and now you see the people moving up. Your man back here. You can see it's a blitz look. Watch what happens now. Here it comes. He goes right to the right read. Exactly. Great job by Kelly here.
And a first down at the 40. Thurman Thomas gets inside the 35. Thurman Thomas stopped by Kevin Ross. Thurman came into today with 962 yards, leading the AFC.
Okay, this is what Marty told us he was a little worried about. They went with a counter gap weak, which is kind of unusual, and they try to run it right at Derek Thomas.
And there are the impressive numbers on Thurman Thomas. All-purpose yardage man. Thomas again.
Good defense. I think they held him short of the first down there.
Martin Ballas, the strong safety, made the stop. Buffalo Bills with a record of 8-2. They've won 6 of the last 7. The only loss of that stretch. They were pounded by Pittsburgh on a Monday night 2 weeks ago, 23-0. Last week defeated the Colts 23-9. This is the 10th play of the drive. We have 6:15 remaining in the first quarter. No score. It's a 3rd down and 2. Kelly for Brooks, and another Buffalo first down. Carter made the stop.
Again, you got the blitz. Kelly read it perfectly, but watch Brooks. Brooks does an outstanding job. He does an outstanding job of escaping, starts an outside release on Carter and comes underneath him. Does a great job of getting back inside and makes a heck of a play on the ball. I tell you, I'm impressed with Kelly. I mean, he's reading the defenses as good as you can read them, and he's thrown to the right person every time.
And it's a low-risk offense that is being executed by Kelly effectively, as you say. 7 for 10 for 53 yards. Again, the audible.
There goes the counter gap weak again. There it goes.
It's Thomas.
And you get 4 or 5 yards out of it. The same thing.
Lonnie Martz made the tackle on Thurman Thomas.
Hey, one thing that's got to happen in this game, Marv, I mean, for the Chiefs to play better defense, they are going to have to get into Kelly's face. Now, I'll say it's going to be hard because he's getting rid of the ball so quick, but unless they do, he's going to chew them up.
12th play of the drive. Kenneth Davis has checked in now, replacing Thurman Thomas. It's a 2nd and 7 at the 21. Play action. Kelly again could not find anybody. And he finds the tight end, Metzelars. A first down inside the 10 for the 6'7" Pete Metzelars. Doug Terry made the stop, and Mike, that's good for 12 more.
Well, I tell you, Kelly talked so much about Pete Metzelars yesterday in the meeting. You know, what a great football player he's been. Here he's in. Now, he's doing his job. Now, watch this. He's not supposed to go out. He goes out late. This is really a broken play. He ends up catching the ball, making a 12-yard gain and first down. I tell you, Kelly loves the guy. Thinks he's one of the best blockers in pro football.
It's a 1st and goal from the 9. Here's Davis.
Counter gap weak, touchdown.
Davis for the touchdown. Beautiful Beautiful stutter step move by Kenneth Davis, his 3rd touchdown of the season. He went for 9 to cap off a very impressive Buffalo drive.
Impressive, it would be a very, that would be a slight word. This is very impressive. I tell you, Kelly did everything right that you could possibly do. And the way they designed their plays, the offense looks perfect for what they're trying to do. And there's some very poor tackling there, too. But it's good running by Kenneth Davis, good blocking by that offensive line who's playing outstanding football and giving Kelly time to throw the ball.
And another good block by the right tackle, the man they call House, Howard Ballard. 13 plays, 80 yards in 6 minutes and 4 seconds. And here is Steve Christie for the extra point. So Kelly on that drive goes 6 for 7. Kenneth Davis finished it off by running it in from 9 yards out. 4:14 remaining. First quarter, the Bills 7, the Chiefs nothing. Back to Arrowhead Stadium, Kansas City. Capacity crowd better than 77,000 on hand for the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. Buffalo with a 7-0 lead. Steve Christie will kick it off to Damon Hughes, 7th round draft pick, a rookie out of Iowa. Hughes, the deep man, flanked by Kimball Anders and Todd McNair. Hughes from his goal line. Out to the 15. Broke a tackle. Nice return. Damon Hughes on the return.
Marv, I want to show you what happened on that touchdown. They ran the counter gap to the strong side. Metzelaars, watch his block here. Everybody angles down. You got 2 pullers here. You got a counter step. Now watch what happens. Metzelaar completely dominates Neil Smith. Now watch Davis. Millard come around, look at 2 blocks, and Davis does a great job of running over somebody to get in the end zone. Well executed play. You can't draw it up any better than that, and you couldn't execute any better.
13 plays, 80 yards. Buffalo had it for 6 minutes and 4 seconds. Joe Montana starting out from his 30. It was incomplete, intended for Willie Davis, who was spun around by the cornerback, James Williams. Crowd looking for interference. No call made.
Well, there's a lot of contact on the play, but I guess there's no interference. But the play inside is the Goganis tackles the tight end inside, so I guess it's what you see and what you don't see. He thought there was some problems there.
Joe Montana, this is 6th start of the season. He's 4-1 of the previous 5. Dave Craig 3 up and 2 down in his 5 starts.
We got a free play here.
Yes, the penalty is down. And Montana is able to complete. That's only a short pickup, hitting the tight end Jonathan Hayes.
Now, I think it's instinctive, Marv, but that's what he doesn't want to do. If he starts running like that, he's going to leave this game in a hurry with a pulled hamstring. And that's what he's got to remember. He said the rule that he forgot about was that he could get rid of the ball once he was outside the pocket or ground the ball. And right now, he's got to remember that, because that's only going to get him in trouble.
He was telling us yesterday that is the one twist that he seems to forget about.
Defense,
here's the call.
Interior of the defensive line, 5 yards, still 2nd down.
Now, this is something that Kansas City's been doing. Now Buffalo's starting to do it. I think it's a pretty hard count. There's no question about it. But he's entitled to give them that hard count. Their job is to stay on side.
This Kansas City has had a host of penalty problems, particularly offsides. They've gone offside 22 times this season. 2nd down and 5. This is Thompson, Ernie Thompson, second-year player from Indiana, stopped by the right defensive end Bruce Smith, along with the nose tackle Jeff Wright. It will be a 3rd down. 3rd down, about 3 from the 37.
Basically, I think what Joe mentioned to us too, and I think Marcus Allen too, this ball club doesn't go outside very much. They're a zone push team up the middle, and they try to punish you up the middle or over the tackles more than anywhere else. And I think they've got to go outside a little bit. They've got to get in split backs, and they've got to try to sweep it. But their line isn't designed for that. They've got the big earth movers.
Yes, Montana raised the question, why don't you run the occasional sweep? And Montana's pass was knocked down. Phil Hansen got a piece of it, intended for the tight end Jonathan Hayes.
Well, what they're trying to do right there, it's very simple. Just make the 1st down and keep the sticks moving. But it was a good play by Hansen. He got his hands up, and that's what you have to do against Montana. You've got to knock some of the balls down at the line of scrimmage.
So Montana 2 of 6, only 35 yards. Hit on his first 2. He is 0 for his last 4. Russell Copeland now drops back, awaiting the punt from Brian Barker. 2 minutes 50 seconds remaining in this first quarter. And Barker line drives it. And he was able to angle it on the hump inside the 10.
Well, I tell you, he was able to, you call that luck. That is not coaching. He hit it off the inside of his foot, and it went out of bounds on about the 6-7 yard line. That is, I guess that's a good kick.
Yes, he'll take it. It goes for 55 yards, and Buffalo will start out from deep in its territory. Buffalo Bills, coached by a man very familiar with the Kansas City Chiefs organization, Marv Levy, one-time head coach of the Chiefs. A youthful-looking Marv Levy.
I tell you, I think this is a big series for the Kansas City defense. I think they got to step out and play football. Billy Brooks is eating Carter alive.
First down from the 8-yard line.
And what I say, back at it again. And they still haven't tackled.
Spinning his way across the 15-yard line. Lonnie Marks made the stop. Getting back to the subject that, well, we'll get to that in a moment.
Simple hitch pattern. He takes off like he's going deep, pulls up, Kelly's right on the button, and then you get a missed tackle here. The linebacker and the cornerback. But they're going to keep picking on him until he makes something happen. Now, Del Carter hasn't played that well this year.
And it's a first down from the 18-yard line. Here's Thomas. Getting back to the subject of Marv Levy. He coached the Kansas City Chiefs from 1978 through 1982, rebuilt the Chiefs, turning from a 2-12 season. You know, the kicker, Nick Lowry, the only current member of the Chiefs who was here when Levy was head man of Kansas City. Second down and 8. And Andre Reed makes the catch and then coughs it up.
Nope, I don't think.
And let's see what the call is. It is Kansas City on the recovery.
I'm not sure about this one. I'm not sure, but you know, this game, it's a game of breaks. If you get one your way, take advantage of it. I don't know if the ball came off out of contact by the ground or came out earlier. It's very hard to, well, I guess it was out. It was out. It's a good call, and it's a good recovery, actually. Yeah, we got it. We got it just before it went out of bounds. It would have been Buffalo ball. Yep, it's a good call. Very good call. Excellent call. Big play. They needed to make a play in that series, believe me.
And it's Charles Mincy on the recovery. Kevin Ross appears to have it. It's squirted away. Mincy came up with it. And a first down at the 28-yard line. Minute 45 remaining in this first quarter. Off the draw, it's Allen. Jeff Wright, the nose tackle, made the stop.
This is good play. Just a good play by Marcus Allen. I mean, he just ran a draw play and he picked the hole. This is interesting right here because you're heading for a problem. You got 12 turnovers. You're plus 12 in the league. Those 12 are at home. You're minus 1 on the road. You got some problems. You got to play better on the road.
It's a second down and 6 at the 24. Montana came stumbling away with that snap. And a penalty flag is down. The intended receiver, J.J. Burton, tied up by the left corner, James Williams.
This might go either way. Oh, this could be on the offense as well as the defense. They just bumped, and it could be on either. All right, they called on the defense.
That's Dale Hamer in his 16th year as an NFL referee.
Illegal contact. Number 49, the defense, 5 yards, previous spot, still second down. First down, first down.
Yeah, it's not an interference call, and I didn't think it would be, but that's an illegal chuck. You can't chuck the man past the 5-yard limit, and that's illegal. And Williams did that, so you're going to get the penalty. But it's a heck of a lot better at 5 yards than it is at pass interference on the 5-yard line.
The Chiefs with a first down at the 19. 1:06 remaining in this first quarter here at Arrowhead in Kansas City. The Bills with a 7-0 lead on Kansas City. And Montana throwing for the end zone. That intended for Willie Davis.
I think he held on to the ball a little longer than he wanted to there. He wanted to get rid of that ball a little quicker to the tight end or the back coming out on the strong side. I think the fact that he held on to it gave the Buffalo secondary a chance to close on the receiver he went to, because actually it opened up the other receiver for Kansas City, but it just takes too long to get those patterns thrown 30 yards downfield.
And Montana 0 for his last 5. Marcus Allen, Todd McNair now, the running backs. McNair will split out, though, to the right side. He's a flanker to the right. Second down and 10. Allen.
Good move to gain a yard.
Stopped by Henry Jones, the strong safety.
Well, it's hard to see right now, but Marv, they've got Henry Jones playing right on the line of scrimmage, basically. They've got him in a forced position every time. I don't think he's really worried too much about coverage. Buffalo evidently feels that they can cover Kansas City's wide receivers with their corners. He's up in a forced position all the time, and that's why he's getting into so many plays at the line of scrimmage.
It's a 3rd and 9 at the 18. Time is running down in this first quarter. 25 seconds remaining. Double tight end. Hayes and Cash. Allen, the deep back, comes to Allen.
What a great job. What a great job.
Marcus Allen.
What a great job.
For the touchdown.
What a great job by Montana. He got the blitz, and he got it to the back on the swing pattern. Just an outstanding job of doing what you have to do with a football. And you said he was 0 for 5? Well, he's 1 for 6 now, and that's a touchdown, and that's what counts.
18-yard touchdown pass play, a sidearm bullet thrown on the swing to Marcus Allen. And the Chiefs are now down 7-6. Nick Lowry will attempt to tie it. It is straight through. The Bills and the Chiefs are tied at 7 with 12 seconds remaining in this opening quarter.
They tell you this is the consummate pro in my this guy is as good as there is in the business. He takes such pride in playing the game, and he plays it with such great zeal. And I love to watch him play. He was right, exactly. What they did is they loaded up. They brought Smith way outside, turned somebody inside, and as a result, what a great throw. Watch it. Because if he throws it normally, Bruce Smith is going to knock this ball down or intercept it. He threw it underneath his arm.
So Joe Montana, very happy about his 7th touchdown of the season. Marcus Allen telling us yesterday, admitting that his final years with the Raiders, he just lost his passion for the game, and that, he said, has been his biggest asset, his competitive fire. But he says now the fire is back.
And he said it's back. He said the people here are so enthusiastic about the football team, too. This is a great sports town for football. I mean, they love the Chiefs. I mean, we saw the show before the game here, Marv. It's pretty impressive. Everybody here has got their red and gold on. This is what the NFL should be all about. I mean, this is an outstanding stadium and an outstanding organization. And they put a nice package in front of their fans.
Of course, it helps when you have a record of 7-3.
It helps a little bit, but still.
Joe Montana at quarterback for you. All right, the return by Cole. Oh, he's hit down as he crossed the 10. A hard hit on Russell Copeland, put on by Benny Thompson.
And they talked about special teams players, and they said Benny Thompson is a guy you got to keep your eye on. This is just want to. I mean, you can't coach this either. This is strictly want to. This guy wanted it more than anybody else. And he's the outside guy, really, which is a guy that's unaccounted for, and you don't block him. He peeled in and made the play. Great play.
Benny Thompson in his 4th year out of Grambling. Spent 3 years with New Orleans, then on to Kansas City. So Buffalo will start out from its 12. 5 seconds left in the quarter. Off the draw.
They made him bounce. When they make him bounce without getting into the hole clean, they got a chance.
Neil Smith with the stop on Thurman Thomas. So that's the end of one. A spirited first quarter here in Kansas City. The Bills and the Chiefs tied at 7. Back in Kansas City with Mike Ditka. I'm Marv Albert. Buffalo and Kansas City are tied at 7 as we head to the second quarter. And the Bills with a second down and 12 from the 10. Kelly, hold down. He was just short of the goal line. Combination of Neil Smith and Joe Phillips will get credit for the sack.
Again, you got nobody in the backfield, Marv. Nobody. I mean, you got everybody coming out. Now, it's a man-on-man situation. They just beat their men. Joe Phillips beat his man and clean as you could be, and he got around him and made the play. That's what you give up when you don't keep somebody in the block in that backfield.
3rd and 20. Back at the 2.
This could be a big turning point here.
Chiefs have 7 defensive backs.
Oh.
And the tight end Metzelaars makes the catch right near the marker. Kevin Ross on the stop.
I think what you're going to see on this, and this is just a great job by Pete staying in the seam. I think we got a double zone on the play, and what happened? You left the tight end running up through the seam. Did a great job, an excellent job of finding the hole. No, actually, it's not. It's a 3-deep zone. I'm sorry. It's a 3-deep zone. He just found the hole in the zone. The linebackers didn't have enough drop. This is a big play. This is a big play for Buffalo to get out of that hole, believe me.
And as you can see, it is inches short of the first down. And so the punting unit will check in. Here's Chris Moore being sent in by head coach Marv Levy. Chris Moore in his 4th year out of Alabama. It's Dale Carter back. Marty Schottenheimer indicating that perhaps we could see Dale Carter on offense.
Well, he did indicate that, and I think if the situation dictates that later in the game, if Kansas City might get ahead, I think he might use Carter for a few offensive plays. Marty said he'd like to. He's really enthusiastic about this guy, and not only about him, but about his speed. He's really a burner. That was a very poor job by the Kansas City Chuckers, because they let those guys right out of there immediately, and there's no way that you can overcome that. I mean, they got 2 men blocking 1, and those 2 guys came out of there like bullets.
And good coverage on Carter, 49-yard punt and a 3-yard return. We'll be back in a moment. Is one that dates back to the days of the old AFL. We flash back to New Year's Day, 1967 AFL championship game at Buffalo's War Memorial Stadium. Len Dawson passing for 227 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mike Garrett ran for 2 TDs, giving the Chiefs a 31-7 victory in a trip to Super Bowl I facing the Green Bay Packers. And there was Len Dawson in the broadcast booth handling radio color commentary for the Kansas City Chiefs. Hall of Famer Len Dawson, the heart and soul of the old Dallas Texans and the Kansas City Chiefs. Willie Davis on the reception.
Well, that's out of 7 first down plays now. That's 6 passes for Kansas City and 1 draw play. So I would say their game plan is to throw the ball on first down and to negate the rush of the Buffalo Bills.
That pass play going for 9. It's a 2nd and 1 at the 42. Just underway in the second quarter. The Bills and the Chiefs are tied at 7. Marcus Allen, straight ahead move for the first down. And we'll step out. Let's go to Jim Lampley in New York.
And we'll take you to the Kingdom. Watch his monitor.
Little shot from the studio from your pals. It's a first down at the 47. Marcus Allen. The ball carrier. So a short pickup by Allen, stopped by Cornelius Bennett. Yes, that is a huge offensive line for Kansas City. Alt, Zott, Runhart, Shields, and Sigler going up against what would have to be called an undersized defensive front seven.
And I think that's the reason they go so much straight ahead, because those guys are so big. It's very hard for them to, pull and then turn upfield.
And penalty markers are thrown off the movement. It's a 2nd down and 7 at midfield. Here's Dale Hamer.
False start prior to the snap. Number 76 of the offense. 5 yards. Still 2nd down.
That's the left tackle, John Alt. And that Kansas City's first penalty of the day.
Yeah, I think what happened there, Joe was trying to change the play, Marv, and Alt just came out of his stance.
Penalties have been a major problem for the Kansas City Chiefs. 2nd most in the NFL. That was number 87. Montana completed. Fred Jones has a first down. Gang tackle. Darryl Talley led the way. It's a 16-yard advance.
That's pretty interesting right there. He gears up to throw it to one person, and he turns around and he finds Jones open on the inside. He doesn't want to throw it. Look, he's trying to get the ball to somebody else, the back. He sees him covered. He comes back to Jones. I don't know how the ball didn't fly out of his hand. Great job by Alt. Great job, but he gets help from the tight end here. They're not going to block this guy with one guy. I mean, you're not going to get a steady dive to Smith getting one-on-one.
Looked like Fred Jones injured his hand in making contact with the ground. First down at the 39-yard line. Jones to the sideline, and Montana completes to Barnett. Tim Barnett, in his 3rd year out of Jackson State, took the hit from the strong safety, Henry Jones.
Again, Joe gets a read here. He reads something on defense, and he goes with a quick pass. He looked like an audible again. You saw the back shift into split backs, and he just hits a short 5-yard out. I mean, this guy is reading what he sees. Again, this is a great job by the Kansas City line inside. I mean, they're just really standing up to the Buffalo rush.
2nd and 3 at the 32. Allen knifing his way inside the 30. Bennett made the stop, and a first down for Kansas City.
Straight ahead power football, and you got to like it, really. 2nd and 3, and I guess coaches have their own opinion what you do in that situation. I think you get the first down and try to go on to the next first down situation.
We've been watching John Alt operate at left tackle. He has had a most interesting series of matchups this season. Look at this lineup that he has faced.
And the only 2 guys that really have good games against him, I mean, are guys with quickness. You know, O'Neal, Coleman, Dent, those guys with outstanding quickness. Yeah, and actually the other guys too. I mean, Bruce Smith or Anthony Smith, Tony Bennett, those guys have quickness too. But he's going up against the best, and he's doing an outstanding job. And really, him and Grenard have really been the 2 stalwarts on their offensive line.
And the Chiefs did pick up the first down. John Alt last year fought back from preseason back difficulties to earn a trip to the Pro Bowl. He goes 6'8", 307 pounds in his 10th season out of Iowa. John Alt. First down at the 29 for the Chiefs. The Bills and Chiefs are tied at 7. Play action. And Montana goes sideline and completes for another first down. Has the tight end Keith Cash, who was covered by Henry Jones.
Marv, watch how they're handling Smith here. Alt gets him. Watch what happens now. Boom, boom. And actually, I'm not sure that that's legal when he's in contact with somebody else to cut him below the knee. But they're double teaming him almost every play, and that's the only way you're going to neutralize this guy.
Well, they say just short of the first down. 2nd and less than a yard. Just outside the 20. And that is a first down picked up by Marcus Allen. Stopped by Bruce Smith.
I guess you would call this in-your-face power football. I mean, I don't know if that's holding, dancing, or what that is. That's a good tackle on Gilganius there, but that's just right at you football. You got to love watching that stuff. I do, anyways.
And Marcus Allen is certainly getting the activity. Last week, 16 carries. He'd like a few more than that. 16 carries, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns thus far today. He's handled it 8 times for 22 yards. Now it goes to Kimball Anders, and he's tripped up by Phil Hansen.
Well, I think Marty's just done such an outstanding job here. If you look at, and I think it's evidenced by the number of people in the stadium. I mean, this stadium never sold out until he came here and they started winning football games. They put on a great program. Him and Carl Peterson have done an outstanding job here, and they brought in the players they needed to make this organization better. Marty's, I think he's one of the best teaching coaches in the business as well as being one of the best coaches, but Carl's gave him the support he needed, and they've done a great job together.
10th play of the drive. It's a 2nd down and 10. Montana completes. Short pickup for J.J. Burton. James Williams on the stop. Marty Schottenheimer was a 7th-round draft pick of the Buffalo Bills back in 1965 and played linebacker with Buffalo from 65 through 68. There's a youthful portrait of Marty Schottenheimer on his football card. Played in the Chiefs-Bills 66 AFL championship game. He's led his team to the playoffs 7 of his 8 full seasons as an NFL head coach. Again, Montana batted down. Pass intended for Fred Jones. Darryl Talley got a piece of it.
Boy, Talley's played fine football this year for Buffalo. You know, Marty, we talked to Marty yesterday, and he said, I don't care about the other players. He said they're great players. He said, Bennett and Smith, he said, but this guy, Talley, stands out in all the films you watch. He is really a try football player. He goes hard every down, and, you know, he's leading the team in tackles. He's got to be doing something right.
This a 30-yard field goal attempt for Nick Lowry, who is 16 of 21. It is good. 37-year-old Nick Lowry has given Kansas City a 10-7 lead with 7:43 to go in the first half. Kansas City Chiefs have come from behind, now lead the Buffalo Bills 10-7 as Lowry approaches for the kickoff. Copeland and Beebe are back deep. Lowry line drives it, a short kick. One hop by Copeland. Out across the 15, reaching to the 20-yard line. Tim Watson, recent addition to the squad, made the stop. And there is the defensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills, Walt Corey, one-time Chiefs linebacker.
Well, I tell you what, they prided themselves so much on how well they're playing inside the red zone, and these are significant figures, really. They're stopping teams in there a lot more than the rest of the league, and it's a very hard place to stop teams, although right now what you're seeing happen, a lot of zone defense being played down there.
Bills give up lots of yards, but few points. And now Metzelars makes the catch across the 25-line march on the tackle.
I tell you, I'm really impressed with this young man. You know, we talked years ago when I was with the Bears about trying to trade for Pete Metzelars, and this guy came out of a small school in Indiana, Wabash. This guy's a big-time player.
And has been getting the opportunity because of the injury suffered by Keith McKellar. Once again, Kelly has to audibilize. 2nd down and 3. Kelly's pass may have been deflected. A floater that is incomplete, intended for Andre Reed, covered by Ballas and Lewis.
I think he caught it. I think it's going to be a first down.
Yes, he did. It is called complete.
But it was a floater. Yep, it's tipped.
No question, he made the catch for the first down. Here's Thomas, and he stopped at the line. Andre Reed is playing with a broken left wrist, wearing a cast on the wrist. Suffered the injury against the Steelers 2 weeks ago. There it is. Soft cast on the left wrist of Andre Reed. 2nd and 10 from the 34. 6 minutes to go, first half. Kelly having trouble with the loudness of the crowd now. Thomas with the cutback. Stop behind the line.
They got an audible package in there. When they read certain things, they're trying to go with the counter gap strong. And Marty said that they had favored the counter gap weak in the past against them. But that time, they stood up Derek Thomas as a linebacker, put Neil Smith down on the other side. They tried to run it at Thomas that time, and they had too much penetration.
Would you say this is one of the loudest stadiums in the NFL?
This is what it's all about. This is the kind of support you need to play the game of football.
It's a 3rd and 11. Bills trying to use hand signals. Oh, look out. Down he goes. Neil Smith. Smith with the sack. That's his first of the day, his 9th for the season. He is among the leaders.
But I tell you, he doesn't look like he's hurt to me. We talked to him yesterday, and this young man was really pumped up. This is a good surge by everybody in there. But see here, now this is a mismatch. You got a tight end one-on-one with Neil Smith. That should not happen. Somebody on that offensive line has got to get out to help that tight end.
And here's the punt from Chris Moore. Dale Carter had a drift back. Oh, Carter, a submarine across the 35. A 48-yard punt and a 6-yard return. James Patton made the stop. Another look at it. Carter taking the hit right there. Well, Jim Kelly in a chat with his offensive line after that last series, and Kansas City taking over at the 36. Montana throws the middle and has Keith Cash trying to pull away, and Marcus Patton finally got him down.
They're staying with the pattern. They're throwing the ball on first down. They've only had 1 run on first down, Marv, and I think out of 8 or 9 plays now that they've gone with a pass, and they had a draw and one power run. Great job by Cash of adjusting on the ball that's behind him. Well, Marty really likes this kid too. Thinks he's a heck of a football player, and he thinks he's really going to blossom over the rest of this season and the future years.
Keith Cash in his 3rd year out of Texas, bothered by a sore shoulder, joined Kansas City last year on Plan B from the Steelers, and a first down at the 45-yard line. Here's Carter. That's Carter to the offense. So Carter on the reverse, as we mentioned earlier. Marty Schottenheimer indicated he might give it a shot. Henry Jones, though, was able to get him out of bounds.
Well, this is a case of really, this would have been a pretty good play, except Jones is a darn good safety. He stays at home, he does his job, and he's on the line of scrimmage on the other side. And listen, you know, you got to take a shot with a play like that every once in a while. You got good field position. If you make it happen, you're going to put the other team, going to make the other team very vulnerable.
And there's only a pickup of 2, so they gave it a shot, and it's a 2nd down and 8 from the 43-yard line. 3:20 remaining in this first half. Now a straight ahead move by Marcus Allen. Phil Hansen on the tackle. Oh, some familiar music. Yes, tonight it is Bonanza night right here on NBC. You can relive the highlights of 14 years of Bonanza and see the stars that were on the show. And after an all-new Sequest, it'll be an all-new Bonanza movie more than 20 years later. The legend lives again. Bonanza: The Return. That's tonight on NBC. It's a 3rd down and 4, and penalty flags are thrown. Once again, movement.
I believe that was, it's hard to tell who that was on. I thought it was on the defense, but I think we might call it on the offense. No, it's on the defense.
All right, Mike playing all possible angles.
Well, you got to do it. Yes. I mean, the guys in the striped shirts know a heck of a lot more about it than I do, and I'm willing to admit that. I never admitted that when I was coaching.
I see.
But I certainly admit it today. You know, you always feel you have a greater advantage being on that sideline. You could see more things, Marv, but being up here, it looks a little blurred.
I always felt that with Paul McGuire that it was blurred, but
well.
And Buffalo with its 3rd penalty. Kansas City with only 1.
Which has really got to make Marty happy, Marty Schottenheimer happy, because he talked about that. He was very disappointed in the number of defensive penalties they have had over the last couple of years.
How would you handle it when your club would take a large number of penalties.
Well, I think it's something you have to talk to him about constantly, because I think it's a lack of discipline. I think you have to really stress not having penalties.
It's a 3rd down and 1. Play action. Montana throwing for the tight end once again. Did he catch it? Yes, he did. Keith Cash with a beautiful reception.
As I said, Marty Schottenheimer likes him, and I like him a lot, too, after making that play. That's a risky play to take. Joe made a good throw, but that's an outstanding catch by Keith Cash. A lot of words in there start with Cash.
It's good for 22 yards and a 1st down inside the 15.
I like the number 89. I wore that myself, so that makes me feel good.
So number 89, Keith Cash, with his 2nd reception of the game, and it's a 1st down at the 14. The 2-minute warning is provided. We'll be back in a moment. The city to this point, it's been a quiet day for that man, Cornelius Bennett.
I think sometime when that happens, Ricky Sigler ought to get a little credit. He's doing an outstanding job.
Montana throwing, and it is intercepted. Montana throwing the middle, and it was picked off. Nate Odoms with the interception. That is his 8th of the year. That is a career high.
See, I think right here, when you see a guy playing that much inside, although the ball's thrown too far inside, I think you got to go with the counter route, and I think they will go with the counter route. They'll go what we'll call a zig route. He'll start the end move and go back out, because Odoms is too far inside. That definitely was inside coverage. He threw the ball too far inside, no question about it.
And for Joe Montana, only the 2nd interception of the season. The Bills lead the NFL with 20 interceptions. Odoms is now on top in the AFC with 8. 1st down at the 2 for the Bills. And it's Thomas. Thurman Thomas is stopped.
I tell you, got to give a lot of credit to Saliamoa and Phillips up the middle, because the yardage that Buffalo has gained, they've gained on the counter plays going off the tackles, outside and off the tackle. Up the middle, they've gained nothing against those 2 men.
It is a 2nd down and 10 from the 2. Thomas was stopped right at the line. And Kelly, throwing to his right, has a 1st down, connecting with Bill Brooks. Ball down by Charles Mincy.
I tell you, Brooks has had a good day. He's certainly been a great acquisition for this football team.
That's 5 catches, 54 yards for Brooks, who picked up 16. We are approaching a minute remaining in this 1st half, and a timeout has been called by Kansas City. 1:07 left in the half. The Chiefs 10, the Bills 7. Nate Odoms came up with his 8th interception of the season. Chiefs picked off only 5 times, only the 2nd time that Montana was intercepted, and the Bills leading the NFL with now 20 interceptions. Buffalo, 1st down from their 19-yard line, 1:07 remaining in this 1st half. Bills trail the Chiefs 10-7. Jim Kelly is 14 of 17, 134 yards.
But then again, they're not getting any points out of it. I mean, it looks good on paper, but you've got to get more points out of that kind of production. He's doing an outstanding job.
And the movement bringing the flags flying.
Now, that's what Marty doesn't want to see right there. I believe that was strictly defense all the way. Now, which will probably prove me wrong again.
Encroachment, number 90, the defense, 5 yards.
Well, it was. Yes, the defense. Neil Smith called for the offside. The Chiefs committing at least 8 penalties, 7 of 10 games this season. That is not a good number. 22 offsides calls against Kansas City coming into this afternoon. It's a 1st and 5 at the 24. See the hand signals indicated by Kelly. Underthrown, intended for Beebe.
It was a pretty good throw. I tell you, it was a great play by Kevin Ross to strip the ball out. He came in from behind and got it out of there pretty good. It was a play that could have been caught.
Kevin Ross opening up the game, starting it at free safety as the Chiefs have reshuffled the secondary. David Whitmore went down with a sprained knee earlier in the season. Albert Lewis now operating at the left corner, coming back with a broken arm, and Dale Carter at the right. 2nd and 5 at the 24. Kelly completes to Brooks again. That's his 6th catch of the game. Carter made the stop. It's a 15-yard advance of Buffalo. 1st down, 56 seconds to go in the half, and a timeout is taken.
15-yard gain on the play. Tackle by Dale Carter.
It's coming up at halftime. You bolted your way out of the studio. Mike Ditka making his color commentating debut here at Arrowhead. It's a 1st down at the 39. Buffalo with 56 seconds to go in the half, trying to put up some more points. A wide open Thurman Thomas.
This is a classic pick. This is what Metzelaars picks the man. They go man-to-man underneath, and Metzelaars picks the man who's covering Thomas, knocks him down. Thomas is wide open. Watch what happens now. Watch number 88 coming out here. He comes underneath, knocks number 30 down, which is absolutely an illegal pick. But sometimes you see him, sometimes you don't.
And that is good for 17 yards as you watch Derek Thomas, number 58, trying to get to the quarterback, but Kelly had released the ball.
I think he's a little blurred there, too. I think when he went off, I looked at his eyes, and it looked like he had a little problem with his vision there. He took a pretty good shot from the guy. Once Derek hit him from the back, the other guy kind of caught him up under the face guard.
Jim Kelly with fond memories of the game here, 1991. 4 sacks of Kelly. Derek Thomas was all over him. He had 4 sacks and 2 forced fumbles as the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Buffalo Bills 33-6. That was a Monday night game. Chiefs had 6 sacks in all in that one. 1st down at the 44. 47 seconds to go in the half. Kelly to the sideline to Reed, who took a pretty good pop from Kevin Ross.
That's the way to tackle right there. There's a square-up tackle, put the headgear on the chest, and that's about as good as you can't teach it any better than that.
3rd catch of the day for Reed. The clock is running. So the clock is stopped with 23 seconds remaining. It'll be a 3rd down and 4 at the 38. Both the Chiefs and the Bills have 1 timeout remaining.
This guy's a tough rookie. This Kelly is okay. He's a pretty tough guy. He looks like a general out there. He's trying to get this whole thing organized and get some points on the board. I got to like his leadership right now.
Comes off the bruised shoulder and concussion suffered 2 weeks ago against Pittsburgh. Finds the tight end Metzelaars inside the 35-yard line. Clock is still running now. Trying to get one more play off. He stops the clock. Still have 1 timeout remaining. We're down to 8 seconds to go.
I don't think he's got much choice. He's got to put the ball in the end zone or darn close to it, unless they're going to try to get a sideline route with about 2 seconds left and kick a field goal. They're bringing Christie on.
Yes, Steve Christie attempting about a 50-yard field goal. Christie did hit from 59 yards out back in week 3. It's officially 52. A 52-yard attempt for Christie.
I think it's well within his range.
He line drives it. No good. So the 52-yard attempt goes wide. 4 seconds remaining in the half. It is wide to the left side.
Got plenty of distance on the ball. I mean, this guy's got a strong leg, but it's, when you start kicking them from 52, 55 yards, you have a tendency to overkick on the ball, and most of the time you pull it to the left.
Steve Christie, though, has certainly upgraded the Bills' place kicking. 13 of 18 now for the season, including several from long range. This first half has come to a close. The Chiefs 10 and the Bills 7 here at Arrowhead in Kansas City. Joe Montana 11 for 17. Jim Kelly 18 for 24. Let's go to Jim Lampley. A 10-7 lead on Buffalo. Marv Albert, Mike Ditka from Arrowhead in Kansas City. Joe Montana, Mike, after a slow start, came on. Jim Kelly, very effective in terms of the numbers, 18 for 2,478 yards, but Buffalo has only that one touchdown to show.
Now, that's been their problem all year, Marv. They've put up some pretty good numbers, and he's been impressive with the pass completions. They really haven't got the points on the board. Their point production from a year ago is off about almost 8 points a game.
And we are set for the kickoff. Danon Hughes on the return. Hughes broke a tackle reaching out to the 20-yard line as we check out the Coors Light halftime statistics, and all in this department on the even side.
Well, it's about as even as it could be. Scores, 10-7, but everything else is basically even. The turnovers were both important turnovers for both teams. The Chiefs had a chance to score, but Buffalo came up with the big play when they had to, and they've been doing it all year, and that's what's kept them at 8-2, because their defense has made the plays when they had to.
And a look at the first down breakdown on the subject of the numbers. Thurman Thomas, though, held only 21 yards on the ground.
And that was Marty Schottenheimer's key going into the game. I think you got to try to take 1, 2, 3 away from the other team, and they had to try to stop Thomas.
So first down at the 20-yard line. Kansas City opening up the second half. Big hole from Marcus Allen. Allen gets to the 30.
Well, I don't know what happened on this, but there was a big hole there, and if he doesn't get tripped up, he's going a long way. It's a good job. Just an excellent job of blocking and turning people. He trips over somebody, or he makes about another 10 yards on that play.
Well, they mark his forward progress at the 28. It'll be a second down and 2. Anders and Allen are the running backs. That's Allen in motion. Montana certainly got the time. The tight end Jonathan Hayes getting to midfield. Hauled down by Cornelius Bennett. It's a 22-yard pass play. Second catch of the day for Hayes.
If you give Joe Montana that much time, he will find somebody to throw to. And he loves, as we said earlier, to get the ball to the tight end, and he does a good job here of just buying time, but his offensive line's played terrific. He's really hadn't had that much pressure on him, really. The line has done a great job.
John Alt, Ricky Sigler at the tackles, Dave Zott, Will Shields at the guards, and Tim Grunhard, one of the best, at center. First down at midfield. Allen. Marcus Allen stopped by Phil Hansen and Jeff Wright. This is the start of a new life for Marcus Allen after 11 years with the Los Angeles Raiders. His role, of course, diminishing the last couple of seasons. Sensational career. 1981 Heisman Trophy winner, first-round draft pick, 5-time Pro Bowl selection, Super Bowl MVP, and number 11 in terms of leading rushers in the NFL. Montana throwing a bullet for another first down. J.J. Burton made the catch.
He has no pressure at all on him, Marv. He has taken his time. And again, it's just a good drive-off route, turn in. And it's a good throw because the linebacker's coming under it for position right there. He gets the ball to the receiver before the linebacker can get in the way. And you see how close it is. There comes 53. He's a little late. It's a good timing route, and he does it so well. He's done it so well for so many years.
Picked up another 12 and a first down at the 33. Cash in motion. Montana again got the time, and it is dropped. Willie Davis had a shot at it, could not hold on.
Perfect throw. That one's got to be caught. And again, it was not his key receiver. He came off the guy he wanted to go to, and he came back to Davis, and Davis just dropped the football. That was a very catchable ball.
Second 10.
It'll be a second and 10 at the 33. Willie Davis, a very exciting receiver, second year out of Central Arkansas, but could not hold on right there. Hand off to Allen. Stopped by Keith Gilganius. Keith Gilganius starting at inside linebacker for the injured Mark Maddox. Maddox out with a neck stinger, so the second-year man from Penn State, Keith Gilganius, has the responsibility of calling the defensive signals.
And we had this young man in the Senior Bowl a couple years ago, and we really liked him. He's a good football player. He come out of a good program at Penn State. Penn State turns out some of the best linebackers that ever played in the National Football League, and this kid's going to fit that category. He's taking a little bit longer to develop, but he's going to be a good one.
It's only a second NFL start, earned a game ball last week. Montana throwing deep. Intended for Burton, and a flag is down. Odoms will be called for interference.
Well, Marv, I thought earlier, you know, when he got the ball intercepted on a down and in, that eventually he would come back with a corner route or a zig route. Here was the corner route. And I don't know. It's a good throw. It's right on the money. It looked like it could have been caught. I don't know if it's interference or not. We have to wait for the call here.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 37. First down.
That's what makes coaches get old in a hurry. It's interference. He didn't look back and he grabbed his arm. It's a definite interference play because he didn't give the receiver a chance to catch the football, and he had no intent of trying to catch it himself.
So the ball is placed at the 1. They go double tight end. Hayes and Cash are the tight ends. Off the play action, touchdown, Keith Cash. So Keith Cash with his third touchdown reception of the season, and the Chiefs extend the lead to 16-7.
Joe was kind of lucky. He got trapped. His foot got caught coming out of there. It was lucky to be able to stand up, keep his balance, and throw the touchdown pass. I think one of his linemen stepped on his foot.
Seven plays, 80 yards in 3 minutes and 42 seconds. And Nick Lowry adds the extra point. So Montana completing to the tight end Cash. The Chiefs with a 10-point lead. Marv Albert, Mike Ditka. Back in Kansas City, 11:18 remaining in the third quarter. The Chiefs 17 and the Bills 7. The kickoff from Lowry. And this is Russell Copeland, rookie from Memphis State, on the return.
Right here, watch what happens here. Center steps back as Joe pulls out, and as soon as he does it, he steps right on his foot. Joe's lucky to get out of there on that play. You know, you see that play happen a lot of times in football where the quarterback ends up falling down right there or dropping the football, and it really creates a problem for you. But he kept his balance and got a touchdown pass out of it.
So Montana to Cash for the Kansas City touchdown to extend to the 17-7 lead. First out at the 25 for Kelly. Thomas, option screen. Out to the 26, met by the left corner, Albert Lewis.
What they're trying to do here, Marv, they're trying to just get the ball to him. It's like a running play, get two linemen in front of them. They did it earlier in the game, and they had more success than they did that time. Kansas City just played it better.
Well, the last 3 games, 70 of 92 attempts were for 12 yards or less. Jim Kelly going the short-range game, as he does right there for Metzelas. When we say 12 yards or less, we are measuring the distance of the pass, not taking into consideration the run after the catch.
And really, that's an amazing figure, because today they're up over 80-some% with what they're doing. But this is what everybody has a misconcept of what Buffalo does in the passing game. It's a controlled passing game, and it's a lot like what San Francisco does, but yet they use a little bit different look.
Would you open it up more with Kelly?
I would have to. I think he has such great command of the game. I would let him do what he has to do on that football field.
It's a 3rd and 1. And it's Kenneth Davis stopped by Dan Saleamoa. Let's see where they spot it.
That's good defense, Ken. You know, I think when you watch football, the things that impress me are a team that can line up and stop 3rd and 1, stop somebody on the goal line. That's the way the game should be played, and that's just good defense and good defensive coaching.
So the Chiefs do stop the Bills. Chris Moore will come on. Dale Carter drops back. There's Carter waiting for the punt back at his 25-yard line. Carter can fly. And it's the punter Moore who had a help with the tackle. He found the opening. A 42-yard punt and a 26-yard return. Moore got a piece of him, as did Thomas Smith, the rookie from North Carolina.
Marv, what really makes this is not only Carter's ability to hit a gap and go, but they kept the outside people pinned. They had 2 guys on the outside flyers, and they kept them from getting down the field, which gave them a chance to hit the hole.
Thomas Smith, number 28, on the stop. 1st-round draft pick from North Carolina. 2 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Kansas City leading Buffalo 17-7. The winner today could take a major step toward home field advantage in the playoffs. Loss by Kansas City would put the Chiefs in a big hole regarding head-to-head tiebreakers, possible winners of other divisions. Chiefs already have lost to Houston and Miami. They're 7 up, 3 down. Buffalo at 8 and 2 coming in. 1st down at midfield, and a problem with the snap, and it's recovered by Buffalo.
Bubble recovery by Bruce Smith.
Bruce Smith on the recovery.
1st down.
Kansas City has lost 14 fumbles this season.
Well, I think that's the quarterback's problem there. He's got to make sure he's got the ball before he comes out of there. Joe did not. He came out before he had the ball. It's that simple.
And the Bills lead the NFL in takeaways. That's their 2nd of the day. So Buffalo starting out at midfield. Thurman Thomas stopped at the line. Lonnie March, who has had a very good ball game, made the tackle.
Well, they've bottled him up, and that's what they have to do. They have to stop Thomas from being effective. If they can do that, they got a chance to stop this offense. I think Kelly's going to go back to Metzelaars.
There's Bruce Smith, who came up with that fumble recovery. And it is picked off. Albert Lewis with his 2nd interception of the season, and Kansas City gets it right back.
Well, that was a pickoff. That was a thief there. He took that right away from him. That's just a great defensive play by probably one of the best athletes on that field. Albert Lewis is an outstanding football player. That's highway robbery. That's not even an interception.
Albert Lewis with very long arms, which he uses so effectively. He's made it back from a broken forearm suffered in training camp in his 11th year out of Grambling. Albert Lewis with the intercept back to Kansas City from their 49-yard line. Marcus Allen with a short advance. Marcus Patton on the stop.
You know, short advance, but you know, it's a 1st down play. They have not been running the ball on 1st down. It's good that they do it. They got to change up somewhere, but it's a 4-yard gain. I believe it puts it to 2nd and 6, maybe a long 6, but still, it's a good, solid play.
8 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. A little session on the sideline with Jim Kelly. Tight end alignment for Kansas City. Goes to Andrews, making the turn. It's inside the 45. Stopped by Patton. Patton and Hansen combining on Kimball Anders. It'll be a 3rd down and 2. Well, look at the AFC East with the Jets getting by New England. They go to 7 and 4 in the West. Denver playing at Seattle right now. Raiders were upset losing to Cincinnati. Cincinnati with its first win of the year. So Raiders dropped to 6-5. And a look at the lineup next Sunday. Doubleheader action here on NBC. Raiders will play Buffalo in Buffalo, New England at Pittsburgh. Jets home for Indianapolis. Later games Denver, San Diego, Kansas City, and Seattle. Apparently a problem with the clock. They are readjusting it. Cincinnati beating the Raiders 16-10. So the Raiders go to 6-5.
And the enigma continues in LA. Which Raider team will show up from week to week?
Actually, you can say that about a number of teams this season. How about the Steelers?
And I agree with that, but I tell you, you can say more about the Raiders than any other team in football right now.
Looks like we're set 3rd down and 2 at the 43. And flags are sent flying.
I don't think he's going to get away with that one.
False start. Number 76 prior to the snap. 5 yards. Still 3rd down.
That's the left tackle, John Alt, called for the false start.
That's a great play by Bruce Smith. That's all I can tell you. That's taking advantage of an eye twitch.
Very slight movement there by Alt. Kansas City hit with its 3rd penalty of the day. Bills assessed 4. It's a 3rd down and 7 at the 48-yard line. Montana, it's a timing pattern with Cash slightly overthrown. Matt Darby on the coverage.
Well, they came after him there. They're going to try to put a little more pressure on him. I think they played too many zones, and I think they give him too much time to throw the football. They've got to put some pressure on Montana, where he's going to eat him up, and they came after him a little bit there with some pressure.
So Brian Barker will come on to punt. Russell Copeland is back. It's Copeland, 4th-round draft pick, rookie from Memphis State. 6:38 remaining in the 3rd quarter. And Barker pops one. Copeland calls for the fair catch. It's a 29-yard punt. The Chiefs with a 17-7 lead on the Bills. And we will take a break. Crowd better than 77,000 on hand for the Kansas City Chiefs at the Buffalo Bills. 6.5 remaining. 3rd quarter. Chiefs with a 17-7 lead on Buffalo. Recapping the story, Kenneth Davis 9-yard touchdown run for a 7-0 Buffalo lead. Montana 18-yard touchdown pass. Marcus Allen, Nick Lowery with a 30-yard field goal. Thurman Thomas was able to unleash, and then Montana to Cash on a 1-yard touchdown pass for the 17-7 lead. Kevin Ross made the stop on Thurman Thomas and a 1st down for Buffalo.
Just a good call. They went with the screen pass again, and they got it out to Thurman Thomas, and he had 2 linemen in front of him that did a great job of blocking for him, giving him some room to run.
1st down at the 31. Thomas hits the hole. Derek Thomas on the stop. Derek Thomas has been held in check to this point.
Really, he hasn't really been heard of from that much. I tell you, the guy, he takes on a pretty good guy here now. Right? You're talking about the earth mover moving him around there, but he does a good job playing him off and making a good solid tackle for about a yard gain.
2nd and about 10. Kelly had the ball knocked away, and it's picked off by Salamua. And Kelly is hurt. Salamua on the deflection, and Kelly shaken up.
Marv, I don't mean to speak over you, but I saw that one coming, and he never did. And unfortunately, that's to his open side. Usually the quarterback sees the guy coming from his right, but he didn't see him at all there. He turned to throw left, and he was hit just as he tried to let the ball go. Great move by Smith to go around Ballard. Great move. Salamua has worn a lot of hats today, and I would say defensive back is one he wore very well right there.
Neil Smith came in with an ankle injury, and it has not affected his play. He has been very strong right throughout. Marcus Allen gets the call. Jeff Wright made the stop.
Just a great job. I mean, just a great job by Smith, really. There's not much else you can say except that he beat Ballard, came around and made the play. And on a play like that, again, when the quarterback's usually looking to his right, he should see that man coming, but Kelly turned to go to his left, and he never saw him.
It's a 2nd and 9 at the 16-yard line. Montana on the scramble. Shovel pass. Marcus Allen sets up a 1st and goal.
You know, I wince every time I see him start running because I know if he continues running out of the pocket, he's going to re-injure that hamstring. And I think right now, the Kansas City Chief organization cannot afford not to have this man on the field. I don't care what the stats show. He's a winner, he's a producer, and he makes people play up to his level, and that's the key thing you do as a quarterback in football. Just a great job. He buys time, scrambles out of the pocket. Now, I don't know how he does this, but he gets it over somebody and gets it to a receiver. And that's outstanding field instinct.
It's a 1st and goal at the 6. And a timeout taken by Kansas City. 4:24 remaining in the 3rd. Chiefs 17, Bills 7. Montana called for timeout. The play clock down to 3 seconds remaining.
Well, I think, Marv, his field presence is so great, and I think that's what makes him who he is. He's aware of everything that's going on the field. The guy looks like he has more than 2 eyes, I'll be honest with you. He looks like he has eyes coming out of the side of his head where he can see things that are happening peripherally that other people don't see. He looks like he's playing one game and the rest of us are watching another one.
Montana has his Chiefs in front of the Bills, 17-7. 4:24 remaining in the 3rd quarter, and a 1st and goal down at the 6. The lone deep back is Marcus Allen. Penalty flag is thrown, and Montana throws it high and far.
Well, they set up a
False start.
There's no question they were going to throw the ball, and the formation dictated it.
5 yards.
This is some of the things that the 49ers have done in the past with their offense. It's a little bit different look than they use. They keep people a little tighter. They spread them out a little bit more, but that's just a bad move right there. They're going to come the receiver underneath from the outside.
Jonathan Hayes called for the false start, and it will be set back to a 1st and goal at the 11. Now Jones flanks to the right.
May not be that bad a penalty. It gives him a little more room to work, believe it or not.
Barnett is to the near side. Running backs Andrews and Allen. Andrews peeled off. It's Allen. Try to cut to the outside, but he's stopped. Lost a yard on the play. Talley and Brown combined to make the tackle.
That play was made by Smith. I mean, Bruce Smith made a great inside charge and made Marcus change direction. And exactly what happened. You watch what happened. He gets inside here, and he makes Marcus change direction right there, and then you got 2 guys who clean him up.
Marcus Allen, 14 carries, 42 yards. Season high, 17 carries. 2nd and goal at the 12. Barnett in motion. Montana throwing the middle.
Pass to Kimball Anders.
And Anders makes the catch. Stopped immediately by Gogenius.
He would have really liked to get that ball down the field to Jonathan Hayes, his tight end, but it's an option. He's going to look at the tight end deep and get the back coming underneath.
It's a 3rd and goal just outside the 7. We're approaching 3 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Kansas City 17 and Buffalo 7. Bills have won 6 of the last 7. Kansas City coming off a loss to the Bears last week. Montana throwing. Barnett is stopped inside the 5. Stopped by Henry Jones.
Marv, that was exactly the same play they ran when they had the penalty. They bring the receiver on a short inside move, and they uncover him back to the outside. Buffalo was in a zone defense. It had no effect on him, so they just played a zone, and they stopped it short of the goal line. That's a big stop for them. And it's starting to bear out again that they're doing a good job of stopping the other team from scoring touchdowns inside the red zone.
So a 22-yard field goal attempt for Nick Lowry, who earlier today hit from 30. He's 17 for 22 for the season. Brian Barker will put it down. It is good.
This guy's automatic.
Nick Lowry adding 3 more, and the Chiefs with a 27 lead on Buffalo with 2 minutes and 23 seconds remaining in the third quarter. And Dirk Blocker will star in Bonanza the Return. That's tonight right here on NBC.
Marv, I tell you, I'm on pins and needles. I'm going to try to fly out here as soon as I can after the game.
Right.
Hopefully I can make it home in time to watch these shows, because this is big time Sunday night TV.
Well, have you heard of the VCR, just in case?
I don't know how to work mine. I've had it for years, and I do not know how to work a VCR, which should say something for my background.
It is flashing at 12. So. Nick Lowry will kick it off. Beebe and Copeland are the deep men. Buffalo Bills coming into today half game behind 9-2 Miami in the race for top spot in the AFC East. And here comes Russell Copeland. Copeland works his way across the 35. Flag is thrown. A burst by Copeland. Good return. He was taken out by Kevin Ross. 34-yard return, but the penalty being called on Buffalo.
Completely away from the play, and it's really, you know, it would not have mattered if the man would have held somebody or not, but it's going to come back.
96 on the return. 10 yards, spotted the foul, first down.
Monty Brown called for the penalty. Backup linebacker, rookie out of Ferris State, signed as a free agent. The only rookie free agent to make the Buffalo Bills squad.
Well, that says a lot about the Buffalo Bills. They've got a good, experienced football team, and they're very satisfied with the players they have.
So the Bills from their 19. And that is broken up. Kelly trying to hit Thomas on a screen. We have 2 minutes, 10 seconds to go in this third quarter. It will be a 2nd and 10 from the 19. Kelly 21 of 30, 199 yards, but only 1 touchdown to show.
And that's been his problem all year, and I don't think he's very happy. He wants to go down the field with the ball a little bit more.
Kelly couldn't find anyone. And he's brought down, trying to extend to the marker. We'll have to see where they spot it. He comes up hobbling.
I tell you, this guy is tough. He is tough. And I got to like him. He's a Pennsylvania guy, and he is tough.
Another look at the Kelly scramble now. Couldn't find anyone downfield.
Just a great job. This is good. This is good. Make him pay the price. That's a good play. He hurt himself. He rolled up on his the linebacker. Marks rolled up on his ankle right there. Yeah, he's coming out. Now that might be a little worse than it looked, but this guy's a tough player.
And Frank Reich warming up.
He's trying to do what he can do to make this team get back in the game. Rolls right up on his ankle. This is tough. Yeah, this is tough. This is going to be a little worse than it looks like right there. He's going to be awfully sore.
First he tries to stiff arm Marks.
That hurt me. Boy, this would be a big loss. This would be a big, big loss, and I guess that's an understatement at this point of the season for the Buffalo Bills. I mean, they're in the middle of the race for not only their division, but for the conference, and to lose him would be a big, big loss.
Although Frank Wright has had tremendous success, particularly as a starter. Record of 6-2, and coming on for Kelly, including 2 victories in the playoffs. done an outstanding job in coming out of the bullpen. So Frank Reich has replaced Jim Kelly. We'll pass on a report on Kelly as soon as it comes upstairs. 1:42 to go in this third quarter. Penalty flag thrown. Reich with the completion. Hits Metzelar, stopped by Doug Terry. And here's Dale Hamer.
False start. Number 70 the offense. Fire the snap. 5 yards.
That's the
Third down.
left tackle John Fina called for the false start.
You know, Fina's done an outstanding job, and I don't think we've given him enough credit for what he's done. He's really rendered Derek Thomas really pretty ineffective totally on the pass rush. And Fina has done an outstanding job. You know, we were talking to the coaching staff last night, and that he went back and studied films of Will Wilford when Wilford was there, and watched how he played certain guys. And this guy's a good guy. I mean, he's playing good football for Buffalo.
Well, Wilford, the predecessor at left tackle, signing that free agent contract with the Indianapolis Colts, and Fina's taken the time to study films of Wolford. He's fit right in a second year out of Arizona. Third down and 6. Reich in trouble. Reich gets it away. Incomplete.
Well, I tell you, it's starting to show right now. I really believe that if you don't have any running game at all, which Buffalo doesn't have today, they've done nothing in the running game outside of the first drive in the first quarter, and as a result, these guys from Kansas City are just teeing off, putting their ears back, and they're going after him.
They tried to establish the running game those first couple of series, never could get Thurman Thomas going. And Dale Carter is back. Calls for the fair catch and then let it go.
Well, I don't blame him on that one. That one went out of the stadium.
37-yard punt by Chris Moore. And the ball back to Kansas City with 1:24 remaining in this third quarter. The Chiefs with a 27 lead on the Bills. Jim Kelly now trying to work it off. He's on his feet.
38-yard punt, no return.
Came up hobbling. We're told he suffered a sprained ankle. No word on whether he will be able to return. And now we're told it is questionable as to whether he'll be able to get back. He's giving it a shot here. So Kansas City from the 39-yard line. Play action. And Montana able to elude defenders, and then with nowhere to go, chased by the nose tackle Jeff Wright, who nearly nailed it.
Well, I tell you, this guy is flirting with disaster. I mean, that is a play that he does not want to make right there. And he could have thrown this ball away. We went to 2nd and 10. He gains 1 yard. He goes to 2nd and 9. I don't think he wants to do this stuff. I mean, he had a guy open early. He did not get it to him. Throw the ball away.
To this
And
point,
I'm telling Joe Montana what to do. Isn't this nice?
As Joe mentioned when he was sitting it out and spending his time watching games upstairs, much easier to see things from high above, although he said he couldn't take it. The offensive coordinator and rest of the coaches were yelling too much in the booth. Kimball Anders gets the call, stopped by Jeff Wright.
Well, I've never yelled in the booth or on the field, so I can understand why people would be yelling at a football game. It makes very little sense.
Of course.
I guess it's happened over the years.
You have been such a low-key guy, Mike. You intimidated the runners here.
Get me that hot dog.
Right.
Or else.
It's a 3rd down and 6 at the 43-yard line as time is running out in this third quarter. Montana tried to go short range, took the look downfield, nothing going there, and it is incomplete, intended for Anders, and the punting unit will come on for the Chiefs.
You know, Marvin, you know, we've said it about 10 times today, but the offensive line has really done a great job of protecting. He's had a lot of time to throw the football. They just did a great job with the coverage. There was nobody open. Nobody was open at all.
Brian Barker back to punt. Russell Copeland is at his 10. 7 seconds to go in the third. And a good one from Barker. Copeland is smothered inside the 15. 51-yard punt, 7-yard return. That's the end of the third quarter. We'll be back after these words from your local station. Called a questionable in terms of making it back after spraining his left ankle on this play, but he is back on the field. Took the hit from the linebacker, Lonnie March, but he's back out there. First down from the 15. The completion to Metzelaars, and he fights his way out near the 25. Sixth catch for Metzelaars. Again, Martz on the stop, and it is a Buffalo first down as this fourth quarter gets underway.
Hey, Metzelaars has done his share today. He's really added to the offense.
Kelly from the shotgun and able to rifle it. Once again, Metzelaars short of the first down. Again, Martz made the stop. Thurman Thomas, though, only 14 carries, 23 yards. We mentioned earlier he was not able to get going.
He really wasn't, and they only have 39 rushing yards in 3 quarters, and 8 of those came on that Kelly scramble.
Second and 4. Intended for Reed, almost intercepted by Lewis.
I tell you, that is a tough play right there. Lewis he's all over him right there. That's the ball you got to throw away. And I can't say enough about Jim Kelly. This guy's got a lot of guts. He has got a lot of guts. He's trying to do everything he can do out there to help his football team, and that's really all you can ask from anybody.
Albert Lewis did pick one off earlier. Here are the hand signals being utilized by Kelly because of the loudness of this crowd. Third and 4. And Kelly goes long range. Intercepted. What a play by Dale Carter.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's what you get when you got great athletic ability. The guy really, he outran the pass, and then Carter did a great job of just finding the football and intercepting it. And that's his first interception of the year after having 7 last year, and it's a big play.
The pass intended for Bill Brooks. A sensational play by Carter. Somehow Carter able to come up with it. Last year, Mike, he was a rookie and certainly was a target. Started 9 games at left corner for the injured Albert Lewis, and as you mentioned, came up with 7 interceptions. First down at the 24 for Montana and the Chiefs. Audible. And completes with Burden on the sideline pattern, covered by Odoms.
He's reading man-to-man. That's the only thing he's been doing. He's reading man-to-man, and he's audibling to the shortest thing. You got a quick hitch or a quick out.
Well, you can see the way things have turned in that Chiefs secondary. They did all kinds of reshuffling back there. 9 interceptions the last 4 games for that new look secondary.
And it makes Marty Schottenheimer very happy because the Chiefs over the years have been a great team to get turnovers.
Second and 6 from the 28. Montana following the punt goes short range, and it is dropped. Marcus Allen could not hold on.
Now that's a rarity right there, gang. You don't see that happen very often at all. I mean, Marcus Allen probably catches the ball as well as anybody in football, any running back that's ever played the game. Nobody does it better than Marcus, and he just took his eyes off of that one, that's all. And maybe it was a little hard, but he took his eyes off of it.
It's a 3rd and 6 from the 28. Minute 45 gone by. And the 4th, the Chiefs 20 and the Bills 7. Intended for Andrews.
Now that Joe knows that's his fault there. He actually put nothing on the ball. He was flat-footed, and he just tried to get it out there with his arm, and a rubber band didn't help him right there.
The rubber band exercise that he has been utilizing, as you so capably demonstrated on NFL Live earlier.
And the people in the studio were hoping that I would hang myself with that cord instead of strengthening my arm.
All right, 5th punt of the day by Barker. Copeland is back at his 25. Off the side of the foot. And Copeland is taken down. Terrific coverage by Tim Watson. 44-yard punt. Not a good one, but he got the roll, and then Watson, getting downfield in a hurry, made the stop on Copeland. Tim Watson, a rookie from Howard University, 6th-round pick of Green Bay, and then released and signed by the Chiefs.
That's what you call ugly but effective.
2 minutes gone by in the 4th quarter. We'll be back in a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Capacity crowd, 77,000 on hand at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, and their Chiefs leading the Bills 20-7. Thomas with the inside handoff, and he's driven back. Doug Terry involved on the stop. Check out the Buffalo possessions in this second half. 3 interceptions in their 5 possessions.
This is very uncharacteristic of this football team. Their takeover ratio is going to come back to earth if they keep this up.
Kelly could not find anyone, had the ball knocked loose, and it's recovered by Kansas City.
I think they're going to say his arm was going forward here.
Lonnie Martz on the recovery, and that apparently is the call, which means it is an incompleted pass.
I think it's a good call, but, you know, it's very close. But I think it's the way you're supposed to call it. His arm was going forward.
So it will be a 3rd down and 6 at the 32. It is called incompleted pass. Kelly off the roll, facing pressure again. And that is called incomplete. Tim Newton chased him down. And again, Kelly comes up hobbling.
I think he got the ankle again.
Ferocious play by the front 4 of the Chiefs.
I'll tell you, he did get the ankle again. This guy's tough, but I don't think he's going to be able to last after that one.
Right now the punt by Chris Moore. Dale Carter is back. Moore getting the hang time, and Carter with the fair catch. 6th punt of the day by Moore. That for 35 yards. 12-11 to go in the 4th. 12 minutes, 11 seconds to go in the 4th quarter in Kansas City. The Chiefs leading the Bills 20-7. And it is Kansas City ball. They'll start out from their 34-yard line. Off the pitch, Allen cuts inside. Reaching to the 40, picks up 6. Bruce Smith made the stop.
You know, I don't see any diminishing skills in this guy. I mean, I hope that term doesn't come up for Marcus Allen, diminishing skills. This guy's a football player, and he keeps proving it. You know, the guy who's been conspicuously quiet today has been Bennett, and he really hasn't done that much out there. And that means that somebody is doing a good job of blocking it, because he is an outstanding football player.
Yes, Cornelius Bennett has been involved in only a couple of tackles to this point. It's a 2nd down, about 3. Allen tried to cut back, but this time stopped by the nose tackle, Jeff Wright. Kansas City Chiefs with a record of 7-3. The 3 losses at Houston back in week 2. They were beaten 30-0. Lost at Miami. And last week, they blew a 14-0 lead and were beaten by your former club, the Bears, 19-17. That snapped the home win streak at 8.
Well, the Bears right now are a team that people better start looking at very seriously, because they're playing as good a defense as anybody in the National Football League.
It's a 3rd and 3 from the 41. The draw for Allen. Close to the 1st down. Smith involved on that tackle.
It looks like a favorable mark.
Yes, it was, and it is a Kansas City 1st down.
Now, should I call that a mark or a spot, Marv?
You actually have a choice.
Yeah. I never called.
Either one works.
I never called a dog Mark, but I did call a dog Spot.
Oh, no. Have you been working on that all week?
I just thought it was.
Mike, that's awful. A first down at the 44. 5 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter. Montana coming up short. And we are set for an update. Let's go to our New York studios. Here's Jim Lampley. Jim?
Marvin, Anaheim, the 49ers lead the Rams 35-3, but the story of the game is statistics. Recently, a touchdown pass from Young to Jerry Rice, second of the game for Rice. He now has 8 in the past 3 games, 122 overall, just 4 away from Jim Brown's career record. Young, if he keeps playing, could well go over 500 yards today. Back to Marvin, Mike.
All right, Jim.
Well, needless to say, I think, Marv, that was a game I picked earlier.
It will be a second down and 10 at the 44. Marcus Allen, good second effort. Mark Kelso made the stop.
You know, I'm glad I don't have to call plays for the Kansas City Chiefs, because it would be hard for me not to put the ball in this man's hands 25 to 30 times a game. This guy is a pro. He's a slasher. He's a hard runner. He got his eyes open. He can make the cuts. He's a good football player, I guess I'm saying.
And he has carried the ball 18 times. That is a season high. 18 for 61 yards. It's a 3rd and 2 at the Buffalo 48. Now Allen peels off. And Montana completes to Barton. Kansas City with a first down. James Williams on the stop.
This is classic. I tell you what, you can get out the instruments, because he's starting to dissect them right now. That is classic. But I think the whole key to this, and you don't even really see it in the ISO, is you see the receiver running it down and in. But what they did is they overloaded to the side that Marcus Allen went in motion to, and gave him one-on-one situation, and Montana came to it just like he should.
18 of 31, 207 yards. Joe Montana making his return, starting for the first time since October 31st. Allen inside the 30. Williams again involved on the tackle. Joe Montana, man who has won 4 Super Bowls, 3-time Super Bowl MVP, some very impressive postseason numbers. And Mike, you were on hand for a number of the successful days that Joe Montana enjoyed.
Only about 7 of the touchdowns and probably about 800 of the yards. He just chewed us up.
Here's Montana, batted down to 84 and 88 NFC title games against the Bears, won by Joe Montana and San Francisco 49ers.
Well, I think that one of the great wins was when they came in there in 88 and into the cold weather in Soldiers Field, and Bill Walsh brought him in there, and we thought we had a decided advantage because of the weather. We had worked out in it, and that proves about one thing: you have no decided advantage unless you play good football. They played very good football. We didn't. They beat us.
And the major reason that the Chiefs brought Joe Montana to Kansas City was because of his postseason success. Last year, Dave Craig had his problems in the playoffs against San Diego. So Marty Schottenheimer, Carl Peterson and company certainly would like to see Joe, as Allen picks up a first down. Beautiful run by Marcus Allen. Nice hole as he was able to cut inside.
But when you watch what the man does, yeah, there's a hole there, but he stretches it. He stretches it to the outside, and when he sees daylight back inside, he goes right for it. That's the sign of a great running back. Guys that run into people instead of and expecting them to get out of their way are the guys who aren't good running backs. This guy's one of the great running backs ever played a game.
Getting back to the point regarding Montana, certainly the Chiefs are concerned when Joe gets hurt during the course of the regular season, but they don't want to push it because they would like to have him healthy come postseason.
Well, I think it's right. I mean, they brought him here to take him to the promised land, let's face it. And the only way he can do that if he's healthy.
Phil Hansen making that stop on Marcus Allen. Joe Montana, bothered by his second pulled hamstring injury of the year, missed 4 of the Chiefs' last 6 games. In the 2 games he played, he suffered a slight re-injury against San Diego, severe pull against Miami. Claims that he could have played last week against Chicago, but the Chiefs did not want to take any chance. This is the 11th play of the drive. We're down to 6.5 remaining in the fourth quarter. They're keeping it on the ground. Big hit on Marcus Allen. He took a shot at the 20. Looked like Cornelius Bennett.
Bennett has arrived because he did put a lick on him, but I'll tell you one thing. You have to hit the man a lot harder than that. Stop it.
All right, let's take a listen now to the impact.
That's what the game's all about. It doesn't get any better than that, Mark.
Marcus Allen with 8 rushes on this drive. This is the 12th play. Chiefs 20 and the Bills 7. 3rd down and 6. McNair. What a rare carry for Todd McNair. That's his first of the day. Darryl Talley made the stop.
Pretty good call. The only thing that happened, they got penetration off the, it was either a draw or a trap, and I couldn't tell exactly what the blocking up front was. But they had a little penetration, made him change direction too quick, or he might have made the first down. And I like the call. I think it's a safe call. You got your field goal kicker coming on. You're going to get another 3 points out of it. This guy's a good kicker.
Yes, he is one of the all-time best. And this is a 34-yard attempt. 4th down and 2, and the Chiefs going for the field goal from 34 yards away. It is good. The Chiefs lead now 23-7. 5:11 remaining in this fourth quarter. Hit from 34 yards away, and he has passed Jim Turner with his 2 field goals. Number 4 in terms of all-time points scored. Jim Turner, former Jet, former Bronco, now a radio talk show host in the Denver area. And the return by Rob Ewald. One of the outside men, Ewald, on the kickoff return. Charles Mincy made the stop, and a penalty marker is down.
Somebody down.
One of the Buffalo Bills shaken up. Richard Harvey, backup linebacker, being helped off.
You know, we talked a little bit earlier, and you won't see it here, but, you know, Benny Thompson is the outside man covering kicks for the Kansas City Chiefs on the left side. And he's been veering in every time. He made a couple great hits earlier, and they took advantage of it that time. They knocked him to the inside and got outside. I think there's a penalty on the play. I don't know what it is, but I still like the way Benny Thompson covers kicks. This guy is going to get somebody. It may be the wrong person, but he's going to get somebody.
Frank Reich has taken over now for Jim Kelly.
We have 2 fouls on the play, illegal hands on the kicking team, an illegal block on the receiving team. It's a double foul. After change of possession, the ball will be awarded to the receiving team at the spot of their foul. 1st down. Timeout.
What'd he say?
I was waiting for you to sort that out. And,
well, I tell you, Dale Emmer, that's a great call, but I'm not sure what you said, but you know the rules. These guys are great. You know, they do an outstanding job, and you know, I don't understand coaches who get on officials.
Oh, of course, Mike. And the penalties did apparently they offset, but the receiving team will start out from a point of the foul.
Makes sense.
All right, at the 21-yard line.
It's like the man said, if you don't know, read the book, right? I didn't read the book.
Like Russell Copeland was shaken up. So Jim Kelly finishes up at 23 for 37, 214 yards, 3 interceptions. Kelly had only 9 interceptions coming into today.
I think it's a good move. I think they got to get Kelly out and rest him because the big picture is a lot more important than the small picture, and that's the rest of the season.
Mike Kelly really struggled in the second half, 5 of 13, and picked off 3 times in the second half. Reich connecting with Reed, stopped by Martz. It's been a sensational game for the outside linebacker, Lonnie Martz.
I think Reed's hurt. I think Reed's down now.
Andre Reed, who is playing with a broken left wrist, wearing a soft cast on the wrist, took a shot.
I tell you what, I'm not sure that you don't try to get your running game going here and try to save some bodies for the next. Oh yeah, he got his knee bent up on it.
Well, next week, Buffalo home for the Raiders. Very difficult schedule coming up. Then at Philly, at Miami, home for the Jets, finishing up in Indianapolis. 4 of the Bills' last 6 games are on the road. 2nd and 3 at the 28. And Wright completes to Metzelars. And a first down for Buffalo. Pete Metzelars with his 8th catch of the day. 8 receptions, 76 yards. First down across the 35. 4:20 to go in this 4th quarter.
One thing is being proven today is you cannot cover Pete Metzelars with a linebacker. That's what they're trying to do all day.
Penalty flag is thrown. Chiefs try to strip Wright. The ball was jarred free and covered up, but it is blown dead.
I believe Derek Thomas jumped the gun. I may be wrong. I've been wrong before.
Prior to the snap, number 75 yards. There's no play.
As I said, I believe Derek Thomas jumped the gun.
Nice call, Mike. John Fina, the left tackle, called for the penalty.
Well, I like his anticipation anyways.
It'll be a 1st and 15 back at the 30-yard line. Chiefs 23 and the Bills 7. Mr. Stats, our crack statistician Elliot Cow pointing out 23-7. The final score of Super Bowl 4, Kansas City defeating Joe Camp and the Minnesota Vikings.
Very significant.
Yes. Oh, yes. Metzelars wide open to the 40, stopped by Martz. It'll be a 2nd down and 4.
But I don't think it matters whether you play a man with a linebacker or you play zone. Pete is doing a great job of finding. That's all he does. He just goes into a zone defense, finds the hole. There's nothing you can do about that. Kansas City is going to give up those kind of plays because they're not going to get beat by giving up that kind of yardage.
And Wright again has Metzelars, his 10th catch of the day, and a Buffalo first down.
The worst thing to a tight end is to catch 10, 12, 14 balls and not win the football game.
And Metzelars comes limping off.
As I said earlier, Marv, I think it's time to work on the running game.
Yes. Metzelars tying a career high with 10 receptions. Of course, at this point, Kansas City giving Buffalo the short stuff. Wright was hit down, and that was whistled at. It is a sack for Derek Thomas.
Well, again, when you're going to sit back and throw the football on every down, you're going to make it awful hard on John Fina and Harold Ballard and all the other guys to block people. You're just not going to block these guys all day. And they've done a pretty good job of containing Derek Thomas. Just a good play. I mean, eventually the guy is such a good athlete, he's going to beat you. Fina's done a good job, but, you know, if you're going to throw it every down, that's going to happen to you. Quarterback, you're going to get beat up.
So 6 for the season for Thomas. Kansas City with 3 sacks this afternoon. Davis on the
What a great play. Great play by Bayless.
Martin Bayless, one-time Buffalo Bill. With that good tackle, Martin Bayless played for the Bills from '84 through '86.
Watch this. Watch how he knifes through. He got 3 blockers in front of him, and watch what happens. Number 30 goes right in between 2 of them. Now somebody ought to be reprimanded there.
And Mike, you're the man to do it.
Not from up here.
3rd down and 14 at the 49. We're coming up on 2 minutes to go in the 4th quarter, and Wright is pulled down by Neil Smith. That's his 2nd sack of the game.
I'm gonna say it one more time. It's time to work on the running game. Well, I tell you what, it's a combination of 2 things. Derek Thomas does a great job getting around the outside. Again, you got a tight end blocking on Neil Smith. McKellar doesn't get the job done, and he's not going to get the job done. There aren't too many tight ends in football who can block an end.
Chiefs have been coming throughout the second half. Smith with his 10th sack of the season. Chiefs with the 23-7 lead on the Bills. And Chris Moore back to punt. Looks like Dave Craig will come on for Joe Montana. Dale Carter back in punt formation. Back at his 30. Once again, Moore going for the hang time, and Carter muffs it and then is able to cover up inside the 25-yard line. 31-yard punt. And Kansas City will just look to kill off the final minute. And 51. Here's a look as Carter muffed it and then was able to get to the ball. We'll be back in a moment. Excellent performance by Joe Montana in making his return, his first start since the Miami game, October 31st. 18 for 32, 207 yards, 2 touchdowns, picked off once as he has sparked the Chiefs to this victory over the Bills. Chiefs with a 23-7 lead, a minute and 51 remaining, and Dave Craig has come on, taking over for Joe Montana. Last week against Chicago, Craig pressured all day, sacked 5 times. John Stevens in the backfield for the first time and gets the call. John Stevens, former Patriot, Falcon, and Packer, set for an update. Let's go back to Jim Lampley.
Marvelous. The Broncos struggling in the Kingdome to try to stay within 1 game of the Chiefs, and now in some jeopardy. As Seattle finally gets its first touchdown of the day, Meyer to Kelvin Martin with 7:55 to go. It narrows the Bronco lead to 10-9. The issue still very much in doubt. Now back to Marvin, Mike, and KC.
All right, Jim, earlier today, the Raiders were beaten by Cincinnati. Denver with that 1-point lead on Seattle. Kansas City will go to 8-3 with the win today. They pick up a game on the Los Angeles Raiders, who dropped to 6-5. It's Todd McNair. We're down to a minute remaining. Marcus Patton made the stop. Meanwhile, Buffalo, in loses a full game on Miami. Miami winning on Thanksgiving Day. They are 9-2. Buffalo will drop to 8-3, and a very difficult game for Jim Kelly and the Buffalo Bills.
It really is, because, you know, when the game started out, they moved the ball down the field so effectively. But after the first series or the first drive, they really lost their running game completely. And I think that, I don't care, you know, I know people get tired of me harping on running the football. If you can't win consistently in the NFL.
As you saw, Kansas City with that record of 8-3 with the victory here today. And it's Stevens once again, and has a first down with time running out. Kansas City next week will be at Seattle, then at Denver, and then home for San Diego. The Bills were held to 43 yards on the ground, an average of 2.5 yards per carry. That was it, and there's the gun. So the Kansas City Chiefs defeat the Buffalo Bills 23-7 here at Arrowhead. We'll be back after these messages. Kansas City with a 23-7 victory over Buffalo. And right now, time for the Hager Wrinkle-Free Cotton's super play of the game. Back in the first quarter, Joe Montana, 18-yard pass play to Marcus Allen for the touchdown. This tied the game at 7.
Well, it's a big play, first of all. He got the ball under Bruce Smith, and he got it to his best receiver, in my opinion, and Marcus Allen did the rest, put in the end zone, put him back into a 7-7 position, and they went on from there to play a good football game.
So the Chiefs go to 8-3. The Bills drop to a record of 8 up and 3 down. Once again, the final, Kansas City with a 23-7 victory over Buffalo. Tonight, it's Bonanza night here on NBC. First, relive the highlights of 14 years of Bonanza. See the stars that were on the show, followed by Sequest, and then Bonanza, The Return. All tonight on NBC. For Mike Ditka, I'm Marv Albert. So long from Kansas City. You've been watching NBC Sports, home of Super Bowl 28.